Why not?
Why not? I knew you were gonna say
Why
that.
not? That's the meme I had pulled up.
Oh shit, are you serious? Just as I mentioned the Olympics, and then you got Jesus Christ.
It's the
Well
got the
played.
Canadian, right? We got the bald eagle taking down the goose.
Canada
Like,
Goose. Jesus, that's great. Yeah, thanks, thanks. Yeah, it's a sad day for us, but yeah, well,
it's
sad
got to
moment,
be, right? I mean, that's your only thing
Yeah,
you have over us. That and maple
yeah,
syrup. I mean, it was
that's
always
true.
hockey and maple syrup. That's it.
And like, what's next? If you guys start making better maple syrup, like it's over. Like we should just sign the papers. Just like it's fine. We'll be what 52 now. I think I don't know. Is that deal done? Or, I
I'm
don't
not
know.
sure. I'm not sure. The
It's in the
empire's
works.
growing though.
Yeah, the Empire's. It's so true. Yeah. It's funny because actually, on that note, like jokes here have been that we should replace our national anthem in the schools with the Empire Strikes Back. Um, yeah, it's brutal here, man. Yeah, but I think it's good. We have Canada and U.S. We have an interesting history together. It's I think
A
that
fun rivalry, right? Like,
yeah, it
it's
is.
just
It's like the big brother, the younger brother, and then they love each other, but then at the same time they put each other in headlocks and stuff. It's yeah, it's one of
which
those things.
one's the big brother? Which one's the young?
It depends on the
Pretty sure
presidency.
when we go back some episodes, it was more like you gotta say call us daddy. I think that's the
No,
way it
it's
was.
not. I refuse to say that. Listen, you know what? You know what it is? We hang our hat too much on the War of 1812. Like we go back and we say, well, there was that time that we kicked the Americans at, and I'm like, yeah, that was, it was probably you guys just got here and we're like, too fucking cold.
Yeah,
Let's just,
and
we'll
let's
come
come
back
back
in the
down this
summer.
way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll come back in the summer, and it's like we can't really hang our hat on that, but we try.
And I can't be too aggressive anymore so much on Canada now that we have two distribution spots in Canada.
There you go.
That's
See?
lovely, right? Northern
Yeah,
Armor and then Kimberly and
yeah,
everything she's done. She's done a great job over
100%.
on one side, and then now we've got the other side. So it's awesome.
Yeah,
We also today is the launch of a new product.
yeah. I saw that. I got the
Yeah,
email.
AWX. This is our
Yeah,
acid wheel cleaner, and
yeah.
that I love it, man. It's a throwback to something that
Hell yeah.
we were just like, listen, we got to do it. Like we missed
hmm
acid. We really
Yeah.
missed using acid. It is gone. I hadn't used acid in now probably like 10 years. It's been a long
Shit,
time.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
effective.
like
It just is.
yeah,
Yeah. Ken's gonna be happy too. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I know. Oh, I know a few people, a few members that were waiting on that one, but yeah, he's
yeah.
gonna be
But
happy.
get it through the OrbisX app. So how do
Yep.
they do it?
Shows up. You just OrbisX when you're in the app from your dashboard. Click on the HyperClean logo, and then from there you'll be able to add stuff to cart. If there's sales going on, it'll pop up. You can add a coupon, things like that. But this stuff is so good, you're gonna want to pay double the price anyways. And so it's so good, so good. But yeah, that's how you get there. And then if you're on the web, just go to orbisx.ca/app/hyperclean. Very, very simple, straightforward. It's right there, and then you can shop away. Absolutely.
You talked about it's a fun thing, and we always talk about interesting questions, right? Like,
Ah,
fun
yeah,
questions that you get. They've
yeah,
already started. We knew they would be there, and they've already started, right? Because it's acid
yeah,
wheel cleaner, so it's like one of those like, hey, well,
yeah.
how do I do this? Well, what do I do on this? It's like, guys,
Excuse me. What
like,
happens if this and what if it? Yeah,
yeah,
it's
absolutely.
true. Oh man, you almost need. I guess for every product release, like you guys would almost need, kind of like what we do when we release a feature. We have to do a whole video about it, preemptively answering as many questions as possible. Then we do an update video answering the rest of the questions. Yeah, it's probably. Yeah, I assume
We
you're doing the
do.
same.
We
Yeah,
do.
yeah. Do people watch them? Some.
Hey, that's a great question, Sean.
Yeah, yeah.
They sure love to ask a question that we answered in the video.
Yeah, yeah. It's because they didn't get the timestamp. They want to
Ah,
know
so
what point should I get to the timestamp. I just want the goodies. It's funny. That's why we started doing like 2 to 3 minute like videos. We would take a feature that we could cover in 20 minutes and we'd break it up into 5 videos or 10 videos, small little segments, because we realized sometimes people, they're like, I don't care about all the other stuff. They just literally want that one little piece. But it's like, yeah, but you got to understand the whole feature as a whole, because what's going to happen now, you're going to watch all the videos. You watch one and you're like, okay, I understand how to do that one thing I want to do right now. But now, Shawn, how do I do this? And it's like, well, that's in video 2 of the same video. So if I just made it 15 minutes, but people don't want to, like 15 minutes, that seems lengthy. And I'm like, really? Like, to learn how to do something epic for your business, 15 minutes? It's crazy. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's a different world out there. But, it does have me thinking, speaking of Olympics, so one of our clients through another one of my companies is Harley. And working with them, one of the guys was our initial... Eh?
Harley Quinn?
Harley Quinn? Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, no.
Oh.
Yeah.
Harley Davidson.
Harley Davidson, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so, yeah. So different, yeah. So, Jesus, threw me off now. So, the guy that used to be our primary contact there quit one day. Well, resigned. I shouldn't say quit. Quit sounds like he hated the place. He just resigned to pursue another opportunity. And I said, oh, that's amazing, Pat. What are you off to now? He said, I'm training for the Olympics. And I was like, what? It was just, when you think like someone left a corporate job, you're thinking, oh, okay, they went to maybe another, competitor or similar industry or something. No, I'm training for the Olympics. And I had never had someone tell me that before, and I was thinking, that's a thing? Like I see the Olympics, but you never really think someone out there just decides someday,
job. Yeah.
I'm going to go train for the Olympics.
Yeah.
Now.
Wow, isn't it?
It is, because they have to fund themselves. Like, the government doesn't just give you a salary and a bunch of money. Like, you got to go fundraise, get people to help you out. You got to go find a training camp. Like, it's a big deal. And the biggest thing I remember was that, not that he seemed very much like the corporate type. And to know that he was about...
Do Olympians really make that much money?
No. No, by and large, yeah. No.
They got to get it off of like promo stuff afterwards, right?
Sponsors, yeah. It's all the other opportunities and doors that it opens. You got to kind of be a person that you just want to, like someone that climbs a mountain.
It's for pride. Yeah. It's because you want the gold. Like,
exactly. That's literally what it is. Like, he wanted to compete at the ultimate level, and that's the Olympics, And I remember talking to him and asking him questions like, when you're talking to someone who's going to train for the Olympics, they're limited on time, because like they got to dedicate so much time to whatever their sport or competition is going to be. You got to make those questions count, because if you ask some stupid questions, it's kind of like the questions you get, the questions I get. Ask good questions, piques my interest, and I'll be there to help you. Ask a stupid question that I'm like, this is for fucking ChatGPT or Gemini. Why are you asking me that? My interest is now gone. I don't even want to. So I was like, let me ask him some good questions. And we've maintained contact over the years now. I think this will be his third Olympics. And anyway, he trained his ass off, obviously, but I was asking him questions around that because he didn't strike me as the type that would just go and invest thousands of hours with pretty much no compensation and no real guarantee that you're going to get a medal of any kind. You know what I mean? And I was like, shit, man, like you just seem kind of like an office nerd almost, like what the fuck, like, and for the bobsled team, he wasn't even like a big dude. Excuse me. If you see him now he's a big guy, because he had to do this rigorous training, and he said the first thing he's doing is a Viking regiment. I was like, what the hell's a Viking regiment? And he said, literally, I'm flying up north, and I'm going through with a bunch of other guys, and we're going to do this, like, Viking workout type thing outdoors. And I was like, well, what does that look like exactly? And he told me, he said, do you remember Rocky IV, where he fights the Russian?
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. When he was out in the Russian wilderness, yeah.
Yes, exactly. He said that is basically part of the routine. He said that's part of what we're going to do. I was like, holy shit, man. Just to push a bobsled down a hill and then jump in? He said, absolutely. He said, there's so many pieces of my body that I have to now enhance or manufacture in a certain way to get my speed at a certain thing, get my size down to a certain level so I can fit in with the other guys. Like, there was so much stuff going on. I was like, Jesus, man, this is crazy. It was really fascinating, though. But for me, the dedication there for someone to just take that on, he was working somewhere, and I see those same qualities in actual entrepreneurs where, like, there is no guarantee of success. It's not this Instagram shit where it's like, oh yeah, 4 hours a day, I'm going to be on a yacht, I'm going to be, people feeding me grapes and this and that, and money's just rolling in. Like, it's, you don't know if there's going to be a payoff. You don't know what it's going to be. You're in it more for the game than the end result. A lot of the people I see that don't make it, they're so focused on the end result. They're like, I want to have this, I want to have that, I want a big shop with the hexagon lights and all this shit, and they want all this stuff. But for the real entrepreneurs, it's like, I want to stay in the game. I want to play the game. And I think that's, for him, competing was a big thing, but I think it was actually the training leading up to it. That was him evolving into this new human being, just like unlocking these new superpowers. I think that was, I don't know, that was something really, really interesting to me. And I think it's same thing, like when you're in the lab, the actual release, like you guys releasing this product now is really exciting. Mm-hmm. But I bet you the real excitement was the process.
When it finally fucking worked.
Yeah.
That was it. Like, it just, because everybody, because are you a chemist? I'm not a chemist. I'm not. So it does take me longer than somebody else.
Actually get it. Yeah.
Well, I'm dyslexic, so I think about it backwards. I look at results, and then I go the other way.
And that might actually work more in your favor, because if you're...
You don't know. I'm not going to say that.
That's true.
I'm not going to say that I'm better than a chemist. Come on.
No.
Until you use my shit, then you're going to go, damn. But like, yeah.
Yeah. But sometimes looking at, like, I never went to business school, for example, but I see business and I see the pieces and components that a business needs, and I can almost just envision how to get something done within the business. But there's no training there officially. But if I had gone to business school, that might be more of a restriction on me, because I might be putting everything in that paradigm, like in that framework that this is the way it's done. So I need to think that mentality instead of just letting the creative juices flow and saying, okay, this is where I want to get to. There's a lot of ways to get there. What's the best way, the most economical, the fastest, whatever the case is. I don't know. I feel like it'll work in your favor. Like, I have a little bit of dyslexia as well, and I mix up numbers quite often. Like, they just end up reversed, so I have to take an extra second to kind of like recompile it. But I look at coding differently because of it. So I can almost get to the same answer faster. So like one of my guys, Jeff, he's amazing, but he doesn't suffer from what I suffer from, and he looks at things the way he was trained. And so sometimes he looks at a problem, he's like, this is like the only way forward. And I'll be like, no, actually, if we do these two things instead, then we can combine them together, and then boom, we get there. And he'll be like, holy shit. He's like, I never would have thought of that. And it's just different mentalities, So it's, I don't know. It's an interesting journey, man.
Very much.
That's what I've been seeing with the Olympics is I know the work that goes behind it. So even when I see a business that's doing well, or even one that's struggling, but you can tell like it's on the cusp. You ever meet somebody like an entrepreneur, and even if they're not quite where they want to be, but you talk to them and you're like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna make it. Like this guy's gonna place it. He's gonna,
And you see it, you see it.
Yeah, when you see it, you see it. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, and I've been talking to a lot of people lately where half of them I see it, the other half I wish you well. Excuse me.
Well, the other half, that's why we bring up the analogy of the migration, and we're like, guys, we keep saying, listen, don't cross right there. Don't go with those people. Like, in this time, you just hear so much in times like it, difficult times. People get desperate, and then there's also, you got to understand, there's these people that they've had this like like been loosely. Now it just gets even more in depth of like, oh, I was living off of this, and it just, everything collapsed. But hey, I've made it, so come pay me to learn how you can make it. It's like,
I'll show you the way.
I'll show you. God damn it, man! Like, why does a crocodile have to eat? Like, why? Like, it just is what it is,
That's nature, you know.
It's just
Yeah,
nature. And
it
the
is.
guy's going to be who he is. And
Yeah,
that's why
it's
we
true.
say don't go that way. You know, you could.
Yeah, some
We're not
people
going
they
to talk
just.
about the two dudes kissing, are we? We're not going to talk about
Ooh,
that. Let's not talk
I
about that.
mean,
I mean,
I mean,
people market the most craziest things on Facebook. It is wild.
I thought it was a joke when you
At
said it to
times
me.
like
It's
this, right?
real.
Like
Yeah, Jesus.
what? It's
Yeah,
wild. It's wild.
yeah,
But
it is.
whatever. You know, I wish them well too. You know,
Branded hoodies and everything. Those, yeah. I couldn't believe it.
may the odds ever be in your favor.
Yeah, it is wild what's out there, man. It truly is. And one good thing I've seen recently is a lot of people posting that almost surprised in a way. They were saying year over year, is anyone else experiencing 40% growth? And
That's awesome.
usually, yeah, it is. And usually when you see a post like that, you get a lot of people posting like, "How'd you do it? What's the secret? How do I scale? How do I get to your level? Congrats, hats off," like just stuff like that. What I was excited to see was a lot of people posting same, same, same. And so they were just saying like, yeah, same thing here. I'm seeing the same kind of growth at my shop. Like that was amazing. And then seeing people screenshots, their OrbisX calendar showing like just packed up full of stuff. And the biggest thing for me was seeing all the check marks meaning completed jobs. I was like, fuck yeah, this isn't some like, oh, look what we got booked up for the next 3-4 months. Yeah, what's your no-shows like? You know what I mean? Like, oh, so half those jobs cancel or reschedule or some bullshit like that. No, these are completed jobs. These are people that got paid, families that got fed. That to me is just phenomenal. But I recognize a lot of the shop names. That was a big takeaway for me. Is that a lot of the people I saw was like, okay, and I recognized them because these are people that either A, submit support tickets, not asking for support in terms of like, hey, this is broken, more, hey, we're about to launch a marketing campaign doing this. How can I make OrbisX work with, like this landing page or with this coupon or this? How would you do it? Da 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 da. Asking those kind of questions, man, those are my favorite because that's what the software is designed to do is to help your shop run more efficiently, to automate your marketing, to automate your follow-ups so that you can close more deals, so that you can fill that funnel as full as you can possibly fill it. And then you're going to convert as many of those people as possible because you can't call everybody. You can't send a personal message to everybody. But now with technology, you can do a lot of those things. And so seeing those numbers, I'm really excited, especially since we're about to integrate the magic voice that I mentioned before, where there's going to be an AI receptionist that doesn't just answer calls, but it's going to answer calls armed with all the information in your OrbisX account, and it will book jobs for you and plug them right into your calendar. So you just wake up and it'll say, booked 15 jobs, and it'll give you a list, this day, this day, this day, this day. It shows up right on your calendar, and it's all done around the clock without you having to hire other staff or having to really do anything. And that's what happens when you get two Shawns together, because it's another member, Shawn Uphold. He's been working on that alongside myself. We worked really hard to get the API and the Magic Voice talking together and learning everything about accounts. So right now he's taking on 5 shops in a beta program, which is pretty awesome. And then we're going to roll this thing out across everybody, and it's going to be massive. And then when you couple that with what we're working on right now, which is the automated, selling ceramic coatings, that's just going to get shipped right to your shop, ready to install. Customers already agreed and signed off on it. When the AI is talking to them and saying, yeah, we can book in your detail on Thursday, no problem. And would you also like to add ceramic coating to that? And it goes through a whole sales pitch and then just adds it to the appointment, collects the money, and then you get a bottle shipped from HyperClean. Like, holy shit, man. Just think of that automation. It's crazy. It's I'm probably going to have to go to the next, gathering, the next conference and do a big reveal. But instead of it being a bullshit car, it's going to be a pile of money that we're going to make for your shop. That's what's going to happen. But I think that, yeah, man, it's amazing. That's where I put a lot of my focus. And so I'm excited when I see shops saying that with these amazing tools you have right now, seeing 40% growth year over year with OrbisX, just knowing that 4 is going to turn to an 8, is going to turn to a 2 with 2 zeros behind it. knowing that that's what the trajectory is for these shops once we release these tools, I'm amped up, man. 2026 is already off to a bang, and it's the world is changing, it's evolving, and fortunately, when you sign on with OrbisX and HyperClean, you have companies that evolve with your business. That's
Yeah.
Jesus.
In the difficult times, right? Like there's always people that make it. There's always people that don't. Those that make it, they always say in these moments that divide gets greater.
Yes,
So
it does.
so this is that, right? Like, look, this is the wildest cool part about my life right now is any of you have had your town, city, whatever under construction, of course.
Yeah.
But you're like half mile from your house, major construction
Yeah.
is not always the funnest to deal with, right? And especially if it's like a city road. We all hate driving in our town, city, whatever, and there's a construction on a main road, right? Terrible.
That was
It's
me
the
this past
worst.
summer. Oh,
Worst.
brutal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have this gigantic construction. You can go look it up. For years, it was called like what were those? What's that place over in Europe or whatever? It has those like old towers that are just in that circle, and there's like those like
Oh,
from
shit.
like hundreds of
Yeah.
thousands of years ago, whatever. Like like long time ago,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We set these like ramps to build this thing. It's set for like 5 years. Something I don't know. Like they did this construction and then they just set it. I don't know, forever. People would take these photos driving through Tulsa and be like, the Stonehenge. That's what it is. The Stonehenge of today. And it was just because we didn't do anything with these like stands for the ramps. But
Oh,
now, for like the past 6 months, we've had this gigantic. This is enormous construction where they're like just destroying out this whole land, ripping out all the ground, moving it. And then you get to see, which I was starting to talk about that. And that's the coolest part. Like they've moved all this land, they've done all this work, and now you're starting to see this ramp get built.
that's amazing.
It's so cool. And then they've got these giant cranes and they're building, and I get to watch it, and it's frustrating. And at the same time, it's really cool.
exciting.
I'm really like, I've taken pictures of the cranes. I do like, it's fascinating. It's fascinating. And at the same time, I'm scared of heights. And I know I have to go up those ramps. Every time I go to Dallas, Kansas City, any of those places, like I hate
You're, like,
going up
terrified.
those giant ramps that are these big things that go. I get it. I get it. Laugh all you want.
Yeah.
I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I've tried to say that to people. I don't like going up the ramps. So I hate it. And then you're like 50 feet up. And I'm just like, I'm scared of heights. So I hate it.
Yeah.
And
You know
I'm
what?
already looking at it going, man, I
wasn't
gotta go. I
scared
gotta
of
go
those
up this
before.
big old thing. And I'm like,
I wasn't scared of those before until this year. This year, the news here, there's been, I think we're at 5, maybe 6 now.
don't.
Oh, shit.
Don't.
I have to tell the story now. I have to. So, during the snowstorms, the snow would freeze and they fucking drove right off.
That's
Can you
what I've
imagine?
thought of my death. One of my death theories is I'm gonna fly off of one of those, and that's how I'm gonna die. That's one of my theories of my life. Like that's how I'll
It
die.
happened like 6 times here in Toronto this year, so don't go to Toronto. That's because they have the same shit. Yeah, it's not safe. It's not safe. But man, it is interesting though seeing that stuff, and there's an opportunity there too. By the way, looking up construction zones in your city. If I was mobile at our shop, this is what I would do: is I would look up areas that there's construction, and I would hit up those neighborhoods because number one, the people that have to drive through there every day, even if they go to a car wash, by the time they get home, their car's filthy again. You know what I mean? And so those are like perfect areas. But then you also can get the work contracts. So whoever's working doing the project, usually even if it's for the city, usually they outsource it and they just subcontract it out. So you can usually get those fleets of trucks, and that's how, like, they're redoing Bank Street, which is the street that our shop's on right now. I think they're in year 3. They said 5 years too. The other 2 years, the last 2 years, they're doing the other side. So they did one side of the whole street first. Now they're doing the other side. It's a long road, but that's how we got. There's a company called Tomlinson here, and they do a lot of the road construction stuff. And we got them on board just from them being there, and then going. You just pass by, you talk to the work guys. You know, you're like, oh, geez, man, how long until you guys are done this? You know, oh yeah, we're working on this. Ask them a couple questions about the machinery, what they're trained in. They love to just talk and tell you about the project and stuff. And then what they're so used to hearing people say is like, can you guys get back to work, or bitching about this and that. When you just talk to them about stuff, yeah, it's, I don't know, it can lead.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, like, man, you Canadians, you're pretty interesting. You can just walk up and talk to construction people, and they'll stop what they're doing to just chat with you.
Most people bitch, throw things at them, stuff like that. But what I'm saying is, when you take the other approach, it can lead to something for your shop, you know? So, I mean, it's either that or you start hosting community events and have people down bring their whiskey and watches. I don't know. It's up to you. But there's a few different ways that to approach that. But I like to get involved in the community where I sit down and, you know.
I brought people into my shop. I made the beer. I actually brewed the beer. I cooked the barbecue.
Okay.
I did not ask them to bring their own whiskey. I provided.
Yeah. That's
please,
the way
guys, please do not ask. Remember, and we had that Super Bowl guy, but I think he's done pretty well now, right? He listened, apparently.
Did well with a different approach, yes.
Yeah, he chose a different approach, right? Like, you can't, hey, I'm having an event. Bring your own shit and come hang out with me.
Bring your own shit, come hang out. We're going to have a blast.
Maybe a better idea would have been to go down to the local liquor store and see if a particular whiskey brand would like to offer samples to gentlemen who had nice vehicles. It would be a much better and professional approach to offer your customers something instead of saying, hey, man, bring your shit down here and we'll hang out. You know, it's not like we ever hang out outside of here, but, you know, we'll hang out this one moment, you know. But you got to bring your own stuff, okay? You know, because I'm the guy that makes you bring your own stuff. Maybe you shouldn't fake it till you make it, my guy, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't be on stage saying fake it till you make it. Then we see it now. We see that you faked it.
Yeah, that's where you start to see the holes in it. And it's like, ooh, Jesus. Yeah, because that's where, because like we do stuff at Auto World. Like we have little, I can't remember what we called them last time. It was toddlers and something. But we have things where we get some of the guys that we take care of their fire trucks. Not at our shop, but we go down to the fire station. We had them bring some of the fire trucks. And then we had this thing where, you know, we had a little barbecue and you could bring the kids down and they could go sit in a fire truck and stuff like that. Just some cool shit for the kids, you know, something like that. But we didn't ask the parents, like, hey, by the way, you know, why don't you guys bring some shit down and then, you know, we'll all hang out and have a good time. Like, the turnout would be garbage, you know, it'd be absolutely atrocious. So the better way is you do stuff like that. But I love the idea of like a whiskey tasting or something like that. And there's so many local, you know, producers of things that they want to get involved in things because they're competing on against these global brands. So
here's the idea I have. I really think one time I'm going to do it. But I know somebody needs to do this. I think another way to do it too, it's just getting somebody to your shop. So I do like his thought process. Like, you know, so I will at least give him that.
The core idea.
It's not like we haven't said that years and years and years. So I can't argue with it that he's just now saying it at spring of 26 because we've said that for now. How many years we've been doing this? So, you know, whatever. So it is great. It's great that he's doing it. Yeah. Here's one of the things that I want to do. I want to try and intermix different YouTube things. I like a YouTube guy that does videography, a YouTuber who does music, maybe even somebody that does something, right? Like, and then combine them into a moment where you're just the AMR guy, right? ASMR guy, detailing a car in the background while they're doing whatever they're doing, and
Yeah.
whatever video, right? And you could just see how
I
you
like
could
that.
set up these moments where people could get, whether it's music, right? So if somebody I've really enjoyed, it's called VW Home. And I've really, really enjoyed putting it on. It's got cars and really cool music. For me,
Yeah.
it's music I like, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's deep house. That's my go-to, right? So
Yeah.
it's I I want to try and do something like that. I really do. Some type
That's a
of
cool idea, though.
yeah, because
Yeah.
if you're going to do a car show, if you're going to get guys there, if you're going to go that route, which we'd always say that's the next part of it. If you could get a DJ there that can produce their own music, you'll get. I mean, DJs are really cool on YouTube. Maybe I'm late to that show. I get it, right? Like maybe
Yeah.
I'm late to that
But it's
show. I'm just now getting into it and
there's a
watching them.
lot of channels like that, though.
They set up. You can
Yeah.
find somebody that they'll just set up wherever. They don't care, right?
Yeah.
They'll set up in a field, like
Yeah. I've seen it. I've seen some that they set up on a beach or stuff like that, and yeah, and they just boom, they're doing their thing. The cameras go in different angles and stuff like that, and it's
and if you're just in the background cleaning a car, right? Like,
yeah.
and then whoever else you need to incorporate into that.
Yeah, but people are liking those kind of social, like atmospheres. There's one we watch, Something Cafe. They've got a bunch of different like sub brands, but it's different like genres of music. But it's people that get together
There's
at a
one
cafe.
there's one I
Yeah,
watched that's it's coffee and house.
yeah, and
Yeah.
they're just filming the people in there, jamming out to the music, whatever.
But
Some
they're
people
just
are drinking
buying coffee
coffee.
and they got a DJ there spinning music. I mean,
Yeah,
it's wonderful.
exactly. It is wonderful. Yeah, and something we're trying this year as well. I actually got the idea through. So we have what do you call it, a photographer, and she does things for our family, different milestones. So like when our kids graduate or things like that. She did our daughter's sweet 16, so on and so forth. And then she started branching out, and she now does annual events for families where she'll do a 15-minute photo shoot. So she does like Mother's Day. She did a Christmas one. We did that. Like a bunch of different milestones. She goes to a place that's a studio usually. She has a bunch of props. She sets them up. She'll ask you, what kind of music you want playing while the photo shoot's happening, this and that. You got 15 minutes. You're in and out. Boom, boom, boom. She takes all the photos. And then, of course, you have to buy, I think you get included like 10 photos, but then you have to buy all the other ones if you want. She takes like 50 shots, whatever. It's a good business for her. She doesn't have anything for Father's Day. So I was like, hey,
What a
Victoria,
father would love photos of their car,
absolutely.
right?
So
Like,
get the
hey, come on
family
down. Let's get
together.
cleaned up.
Yep, 100%.
We'll
And
provide
so,
you with photos of your car. Oh man.
yeah, absolutely. So I was like, this is perfect. And then guess
When's
what?
Father's Day? How early should we start marketing this?
Today.
Mm-mm.
Like, well,
Hey Luna.
yeah, exactly. Be like, and that's a good case in point right there. Luna, if you ask, like, hey, this is what I want to do. I want to partner with a local photographer. I want to start setting this up. Then say, hey, when is Father's Day this year? And how soon in advance should I start marketing that? And then take it a step further and say, what are some example messages that I can start sending out to people in advance of this? And if you do it soon enough, you can capitalize on even Mother's Day as well. Because there's something you could do around Mother's Day too. Ask Luna for some ideas. So you can start marketing both now, promoting things. You can work out something with the photographer. There's something there. And through that, you're now getting people down to the shop. You're getting people that are not just your existing customers, but you can have something that's, like family photo shoots, things like that. Get other people that are now being brought down to your shop to be introduced to your services. It's those kinds of ideas that I'm most excited with. And it starts with partnering with people because they have their own network. And so now, instead of just tapping into your client base and being like, hey, come on down and bring some shit to help make this like hype for us so we can get other people down. Now you're saying, listen, we've got something hype going on. This is what you need to come down and, it's going to cost X or whatever, if it's a photo shoot type thing, or maybe you just cover the cost of whatever the photographer is for the day. And now you get all these people, hey, free photo shoot. And then maybe she'll even, or he will do it for free. knowing that they're going to be able to sell the photos afterwards as well. Like they can say like, 3 photos included. And then if you want, oh, look, we took 50 shots. We got some really good ones here. They're $10 each or whatever. Like there's ways of working this out. It doesn't have to break the bank, But yeah, we're definitely starting there. And one of our big add-ons is going to be, though, you can get photos done with your own vehicle, but then we're also obviously going to have some nice vehicles there as well, so that maybe the guy that drives a Honda, maybe his favorite car is a Ferrari. So, okay, well, if you want, you can get some photos done with this Ferrari, stuff like that. And so it's those kind of events are the kind that I'm most excited about. They're pretty easy to organize, really. Like, it's just conversations with people. Pick a city, hundreds of photographers.
You say easy. I mean, no, easy is, hey, bring some whiskey
relative.
down. Come hang out. Well, that's easy. Like that's.
How do I scale, Marshall? I want one sentence, and I want to be.
You've
as
got
big as
some
Tony
work
Robbins.
to do. Let's be honest. It's
Yeah.
not hard work, like scrubbing wheels.
Yeah,
It's
that's
easy, but it's still work.
yeah, that's true. You're right. Because when I say it's easy, it is work. You still have to put the work in, and there's steps you have to do. Like you got to go find a photographer, maybe a videographer. You got to
No,
have some
Tanner,
food
we won't
there.
do that for you.
Yeah, no, we won't do it for you. Yeah, no, you're actually gonna have to put in some legwork here. But the thing is that the most beautiful destinations are usually like a journey to get there. It's you want the beautiful vista. Well, you got to climb Machu Picchu. You know what I mean? Like it's just it is what it is. You don't want to climb? Okay, no problem. Well, you're only gonna see at sea level. That's fine. And so you got to put in that work. So when I say it's easy, you're right. There are steps. It's just they're not very difficult steps, but you still got to put the work in. So I think, and that's where, like, for myself, for example, I know a lot of stuff about marketing. I have to mention this book. This was recommended.
Glad you did, because I was going to say, most people wonder, what do I say?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Yeah, well, you got to read. Or what you can do, a cool thing, if you don't want to read, I personally enjoy reading. Some people like audiobooks. That's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. See, Marshall has his hand up. I like audiobooks as well. Oftentimes, I'll read a book and then I'll listen to the audiobook. I find that I retain information differently, and certain segments I might miss or something like that. So I do both personally. But let's say you don't want to do either. Okay, I get it. It's a lot of work. It's a big time commitment to listen to an audiobook. It's a big time commitment to read something. Take the title of this, plop it into Gemini or ChatGPT or Luna, and say, hey, summarize this book for me. What are the key takeaways? And it'll help you out there. At least that's the bare minimum of what you could do. But I do highly recommend read it. This was recommended to me by a member, both of our customers actually, Ken. He recommended this book. As soon as he recommended it, purchased it straight away, read it, listened to the audiobook as well. For me, how much did this cost me? Let's see, $24.99. $25. Yeah, oof. I know, big expense, huge expense. Like, Jesus, man, it's the price of one Negroni, one cocktail. Is basically, well, no, maybe not that high, but
I was like, damn.
Yeah, inflation, baby. So $25, not even, less than $25, and you can learn stuff, and then you can implement that stuff into your day-to-day business.
So let's go over what you liked about it. I haven't done 2.0, but I did do the original.
1.0, yeah.
I did do the 1.0, and here's how everybody can know that is true. There's a moment inside of the Pints and Polishing podcast where I started to introduce myself as the guy. Why did I do that, Shawn?
Well, because in 1.0, so I actually haven't read 1.0. I did listen to the audiobook, but it was quite a while ago. But it, from what I remember, it was similar to 2.0. And you've got to be that source of truth in a way.
And you want to guide your customers to that truth. You present
Yes.
problems, you present issues, And I think the other key takeaway is you're not the hero to solve the problems.
Exactly.
You're the
They're,
guide
they're
to
the
make
hero.
them the hero. So I
Exactly.
was the guide as we journey through the auto detailing industry. And then I tried to
Exactly.
bring in people and bring in problems and bring in things. And then
Yeah.
I'm going to be the guy that guides you through.
Exactly. And that's
It
where
all came out of
2.0.
that book. That, I mean,
Oh,
it,
big
that,
time.
what you, I mean, that's why I brought it up. Like, you
Yeah.
can know for a fact, like,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
started with me listening to that book. It's a brilliant book. There's a reason
Absolutely.
there's a
Yeah.
2.0, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I
Exactly.
haven't listened to 2.0, and I probably won't,
It's like I
but
said before we jumped
I'm
on.
not
It's
into
more or less the
marketing anymore.
same. Yeah.
That's
They just elaborate on it a little more, and they switch things a bit to common enemy, which I'll explain in a second. But I just realized in case someone's not watching and they're listening, so it's Donald Miller is the author, Building a Story Brand 2.0 and 1.0. I do recommend both, but honestly, the messages are kind of very similar. There's a lot of overlap. So if you only have time for one or only have the funds for one, then pick 1.0 or 2.0. 2.0 is probably more readily available. You're going to get the whole concise thing. But
and it probably has newer applications.
yeah, I would say so. Yeah, and it does for sure. And the big thing was finding a common enemy. So the whole concept of wanting to be the hero is that how we talk as detailers oftentimes we make ourselves the hero of the story. Oftentimes, mistakenly so. We're the ones that we do this to your vehicle and we do that to your vehicle. It's me,
We're the
us.
face in the camera.
Exactly.
I'm the
Exactly.
hero. Look at me.
I'm the best and I can do this and that and stuff. And the goal here is not to be the hero because the customer honestly doesn't give a shit about you. They don't. They don't care if it's you or if it's some other company or whatever. They don't care. They care about themselves and their needs. And so when we
We have this innate thing, a sign of human nature where cool if you're a, I want to be a hero.
exactly. I want it to
Not
be me.
you.
Yeah.
And there's
Exactly.
the part of that, there's the twist, right? Like if
Yeah.
you're the company and you're marketing, you've got to twist around, and that's why I bring it's human nature, right? Like
It is.
I used to think it too. So I'm not like, it was a journey for me also. I'm trying to lay myself out there, right? Like
Exactly.
it's a thing. I understand it. Like, so you got to make this twist. You got to make a turn. The
Yeah.
customer, in order, right? So I always will go back to this. If you're not great at sales, you got to be exceptional at marketing.
Yeah.
Okay, exceptional at marketing will help you on your sale. If you'll get this and really get this key point of the customer is the hero, it makes the sale so much easier because
Much easier.
I'm the
Yeah.
guy.
Absolutely.
If I'm the hero, I'm the guy. Let me, how do I give it to you? Like,
Exactly, exactly, and that's where a lot of detailers fall short. Is like you said, it's same with me. I've been guilty of it numerous
yeah,
times. Like
yeah.
it happens. It's so easy to fall into the trap of, hey, we're gonna launch this new promo. Okay, so through the promo, we have to tell the customer how amazing we are and why this is such a good deal for them because we're awesome and we're gonna give it to you for this price. You get all this value. But reality is, the customer has the problem. We have to find that common enemy, and that's what this book focused on a lot: is finding that common enemy and making them the hero, the focal point of the story. So that, and one of the examples, for example, would be like lawn care. So let's say you're in lawn care. The traditional way that we would think about things as detailers or as marketers would be we've got a lawnmower that we want to sell. So the problem exists for us. We're trying to solve the problem of everybody needs a lawnmower, right? Versus what it should be is focus on the customer, make them the hero of the story. The customer doesn't like a messy lawn because they want to look like a good neighbor. They want to have a presentable house. They want to look
You
like the
see,
best.
the fertilizer companies. You see them. with the
Yeah.
like guy standing there with like a cape, like so proud of the way his
Yeah,
yard
yeah.
looks, right? Like,
Exactly. They make the customer the hero of the story instead of focusing on themselves. Like they've got fertilizer doing stuff. Like they don't focus on that. No, it's not about them. It's about you, the result that you're going to have at the end as the customer, as the hero. And that's what this focused on a lot. And it focused a lot on finding a common enemy. And when people think of that, they usually think of a person. They think, what's my business versus the detailer down the road. But that's not the case here. The enemy is whatever the customer is looking at. So like some good examples would be, oh, I can see, yeah, you've got some swirls and stuff like that. It seems like instead of me saying, well, the way that we do our detailing at our shop is we do it like this and this, and then you're not going to have swirls and stuff, and so it's better than the car wash. You're still focusing on yourself. Instead, focusing on the customer and saying, I know you want to maintain that shine and that gloss, and you want your car to look nice every time you pull up to the restaurant with your wife. That's your goal, and that's why you're going to the car wash.
okay, so let's go there. Here's where you can find an enemy.
Yeah.
You can find an enemy on, hey, you know that guy's looking at your car when you pull up?
Mm. Yeah. See?
How's he
Boom.
going to look at you when you step, right? Or
Yeah.
you could go golf course, right? Since we talked about that before, it's a great place.
Yeah.
Hey, you know that guy you love to beat your foursome? Wouldn't you
Yeah.
also love to beat the shine on the car, right? Or something like that, right?
Absolutely. Boom.
You
Now
know,
you've
there's
got.
that guy. So why don't you
Yeah.
beat him at this, right? You know, there's
Yeah.
this that you know,
Yeah.
always win then at having a clean.
Yeah. Exactly. Absolutely. And sometimes the enemy is exactly that. It's just a concept. It's
Mm-hmm.
not a person. It's more the concept of like you want to win
The enemy
or
of tree sap, the enemy of water
yeah.
spots, the enemy of whatever we can come up with in springtime,
Yeah.
right? Pollen, the
Yeah.
enemy of pollen. This would be a great time to use Luna to educate
100%.
on pollen and what happens when pollen falls on the car and how
Yep.
pollen is very, very abrasive and you
Yeah.
shouldn't go white, right? Like,
It's true.
it's a
Yeah.
great thing to talk about.
Absolutely. And that's where finding that common enemy, you're now shifting the focus instead of like we're so great because we do this and we've got this certificate on the wall and stuff. The customer doesn't care. They don't care if you're a hero. They really don't. It's it's the customer.
I saw a Facebook message earlier of this guy that posted this great video, right? You
Yeah.
love these videos where somebody spins and you go, man, they're really putting out some
They put in some
marketing.
production. Yeah.
And in one of the segments, it's showing he's got them framed. And it's like all of his certificates. And you just go, you spent all this money. You got this amazing video and you're
Jesus.
going to spend 5 seconds with this slow roll of your certificates on a wall?
That's so crazy to me. You know the only other industry I've seen this happen in to this level? Realtors. Where they always have like, best realtor of 2025, best realtor 2026, stuff like
Top
that.
100. Remember we had that
Yeah,
episode, right? Like,
exactly. Yeah, but like I always go back to really nice restaurants. I've never gone into a really nice restaurant and then see a bunch of shit on the wall about like, how great their fucking chef is or this and that. Never. You go in and it's just the whole experience itself speaks for like I don't know what it is about us. We want to be heroes so bad that we have to like prove ourselves that and I think a big part of it is we feel we're at war with so many things. We feel we're at war with the cheap detailer down the road. We're at war with the car wash. We're at war with inferior products. It's all these things. And the more that we think we're in this war that's imaginary, the more we're striving to be something that we don't need to be.
and the more we're in this war, we also then just get a feel of pride, which I completely understand. For all
Yeah,
of us
because you
that
want
are
to be
out there
proud. Yeah,
constantly keep going at it,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
we have to, I mean, I have to have some pride.
yeah. Pride is
Well, I
important.
get it.
100%.
I
Yeah,
get it. Like, I
yeah.
understand.
And that's a good point actually, because for a customer, they want you to be proud in the work that you're doing, right?
Sure.
So there is a
Sure.
place for pride,
Yeah.
but I think that we focus on it in the wrong areas. You know,
Not in marketing, right? Like that's the
yeah,
key of this point. That's key point of this book, though, right? Is like,
it's
and
true.
this is why we're trying to spend some time and really dig into it. Not for us to come at you, is so that maybe you'll have this like light bulb moment, like light
Exactly.
bulb moment. The
It's like, oh
customer has
shit.
to be the hero. You got to solve their problem. So in order to solve their problem, you got to dig at their problem. You gotta bring the problem to light.
Yep.
You got to discuss the
Absolutely.
problem, which is the enemy, right? You've got
Yep.
to create
Exactly.
some
Find that
enemy
common enemy.
that is a problem,
Yeah.
and then you become the guide
Yes, which
to
is the
help
most
them with their
important part
problem.
because now
Yeah,
you're basically their savior in a way. Like I don't want to use savior because it sounds like you're like
yeah,
saving them. Like no, it's more you're right. The guide. They did use the
guides
right
of it.
terms
Yeah,
in the book. You're the
mhm.
guide that helps them get there, and because you're the guide, they trust you. They learn to lean on you. They listen to your suggestions when you're saying things because they know you're just the guide. And like as a result, you're getting paid as the guide to guide them through on this journey to ultimately make them the hero of the story and get the results that they want. That's the marketing plan in a nutshell. It really is. Like it
Now,
doesn't.
trick of that is you better know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, that's that's the very very good point. And that's where I think that comes down to two things. One, people need to spend more time figuring out what their customers actually want because then you actually know what to know, like what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Like how do you to know what you're talking about, you have to know exactly what it is the customer's actually interested in, and then you've got to become an expert on that because what the customer wants and expects is likely going to be different than what you want or expect as a detailer. You might
So,
be
do you
very
think
interested.
that that customer wants and expects you to know all the data sheets and all the things about like contact angle of ceramic coating?
Yeah. This is
Is that
this
what
is
we're talking about here, Sean? Like,
no.
need to know all that? Like,
Yeah, no. This is one that always takes me out when people get into the specifics. You know, it's a funny thing because like OrbisX, I got both angles where because I have a shop, I got approached by product companies that wanted us to use their product in our shop. But then, as the owner of OrbisX, I also got approached by companies that wanted us to pitch this to our members. It was always like coming back to the same kind of thing where it was like, oh, I know you have a thing going with HyperClean, but like what we do for the installers that we work with is we make sure that they know this and they've got this on the wall and they this and they this, and I'm like, first off, everything you're saying, once again, they're not even making the Orbis X member the hero of the story. It's just focused on them, and I'm like, you don't understand the marketing, like how these guys have to sell this to the customer, what value it needs to provide to the customer. Like it was just so ass backwards, and so no. Long answer is no. Yeah, absolutely no. Like, it's man. So the big question is not how do I sell ceramic coatings? The big question is why does my customer want a ceramic coating? The big question is what is in it for them? How does it make their life better? How does it add value? How does it add value to their vehicle? How does it add value to their time, their day to day? How does it save them time, give them back more time? How does it protect or enhance their vehicle? How does it like those are the real questions. And that's what the customer's ultimately going to care about. And that's what, as an installer, they should ultimately care about. And so, as an installer or as a shop owner, the only thing I would be concerned about is the company I'm buying from. Are they going to have sufficient supply so that when I do pour my heart and soul into my marketing, am I going to have supply chain issues? Or are they ordering one pallet for the entire of North America?
I think it
That's
was three,
I think
but
it was
we've
three.
still
You're
yet
right.
to see another
You're right.
post.
No
There's
fairness. Yeah,
still
yeah.
yet to be any more pallets.
Yeah, they're not allowed to kiss each other again until it's five. let's let's put it that way. So so that's a big question. Supply chain issues. And then you look at a company like HyperClean and you're like, okay, we're going to expand into Canada, for example. That I use that example specifically because we're often forgotten because our population size is so low compared to other countries that you could operate in. And the logistics of moving product from one, because it's one thing if our population was the same size as California in a space like California, but we're actually spread out throughout the same distance or greater as the United States.
Yeah.
But we have just pockets of, a million people here, a million people here. It's the logistics of transporting goods and stuff. So when you enter a market like this, it's very different. But making sure that, okay, you guys could have said, okay, we're on the West Coast, we're good to go. And we'll just ship stuff from there everywhere else, and you're just going to have to wait till it gets there. No, it was a priority for you to start to expand and establish more places because you want to make sure that supply chain keeps going, that things are accessible. That kind of stuff is important. And that's where the focus, when you're choosing a supplier, I feel needs to be. And it's the same reason why people choose OrbisX is just because, like, oh, when I need support, they're going to be there. So those are the things that are most important to ask yourself.
I think one thing that you'll find about AWX is what you'll find about the rest of the products coming out of 26. What we already have is it's another key point of why I always created the podcast around the way I did it was I went to craft breweries. I mean, we craft our products. Yeah. If you're a boutique shop, if you consider yourself niche, you consider yourself somebody that is only a luxury service and not a everyday commonality, well, then maybe you should also offer a product that is not common. Yeah. Maybe you should offer a product that has been developed by a combined 40 plus years of experience in car detailing, 2 owners, 2 men that have this company. It's just us.
Yeah, that's a very
with employees. Don't get me wrong, but hey, I'm not the guys back there doing everything. Don't kid you.
Fair. But that's a good case in point, and it's similar to like how OrbisX built by someone that has a shop and has had the same problems and the same marketing needs and so on.
It's more crafted, right?
It's more crafted for that.
You've talked about the amount of time, the amount of energy, and why you do it, right? Yeah. Like, there's always want to know what's that why, right? Like, well,
that's true.
Part of it, I think, is your personality, and I think your personality is to achieve.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
That's why
so then time doesn't matter, right? Yeah. Like all that doesn't matter. The amount, like it's about achieving. And you mentioned something that you and I have always bonded on: community. It's about also achieving something for other people, not just for myself. I also want to achieve things for others.
Yeah, it's true. That is, I'd say, core to my values, my beliefs. Like even our shop, like during COVID. We had the opportunity, we could have laid off half of our staff and we still would have pumped out production just as well. And we could have taken, kickbacks from the government and so on and so forth. They could have collected payouts from the government. It was important for us to maintain their salaries so that, because we knew it wouldn't last forever. We wanted to make that investment in them as a family and say, listen, you don't have to take a pay cut. You don't have to go on, the benefits from the government. You're going to have a purpose still. You're going to get to go to work, feel proud in what you're doing, and that was more important to us. My business partner Nick and I, we don't take salaries from the company, and everything gets reinvested. Our goal is we have other companies we're doing just fine, but our goal is eventually just expand this, and then with the money sitting in an account, we can take out money anytime we want. But it's more important for us just to keep it growing. It's not about the money; it's something greater. Same thing with OrbisX. Like I've had offers for buyouts, and it's. You talk to some companies because you're like, you'd be an idiot not to at least have a conversation. Like, what are we talking? You want to buy us out for $100 million? All right. Like maybe we'll consider.
Bada bing, bada boom. Hey,
exactly. Hey, Hey. But every time it was the same old story. They wanted to either rip things out and force people down a path like what we've seen happen with some other CRMs. And it's like, no, you must use this, you must use that. And that was detrimental to our members. Or they wanted to like part it out, piece it out, or they wanted to use it internally. Like, no, this is going to be our system, and we're going to kick everybody out. Like, and I'm thinking, like, all those families that are out there that are building big businesses with OrbisX supporting them at the core. That community, like, it means too much to me that I couldn't see it parted out or used internally somewhere for some big company, and then everyone else is just screwed. Like, I just, the reason I built OrbisX was to help my own shop because I saw there was a void, there was a need that was there. And then as people started asking for it, I was like, let me package it up, sell it so it can support itself, so on and so forth. Helping all those business owners, fuck, man, that it does touch me in a different way. And I think that's an important thing, is that it's not about me. It's not about like I don't go and say, OrbisX was built by me, and because I have this much coding experience and so on and so forth. Like, it's about the customer. I've identified what their problems are. I've made them the hero of the story, and that's why I haven't had to pour money into marketing. I've been able to do.
Go back to the other part of the episode. They're up 40%. They're the hero.
Yeah, they're the hero. They're up 40%. And look how much pride that gave me. I was like, man, like, my software that I built has helped businesses achieve 40% year over year growth. Like, that's phenomenal. That is phenomenal growth. Like, if you knew you could pour $1 into something and you'd be able to get back 40% return, like, Jesus Christ, even real estate's like 6%, 8%, you know what I mean? Like, it's a 40% year over year growth, knowing that, like, they're taking screenshots of the software because they know the software is what helped.
Should you spend 15 minutes? Yes.
Yeah. Should you spend 15 minutes? Absolutely. Are you kidding me? And that's right. And talk to Luna, for crying out loud. Like, Luna's just there. She's like, all she needs is electricity. That's all she eats, and I'm the one paying the bill. So it's like, all you got to do is talk to her and be like, hey, Luna, just saw the episode Off the Clock show. They were talking about this book. They were talking about I do this, that. I want to, get a photo shoot going, or maybe connect some YouTubers together and do a cafe thing and this and that. Like, just hash out some ideas. And you'll see, like, you might take our ideas and morph them into your own ideas and be like, beautiful. Because that's what it's about. It's not about, hey, Marshall, how do I scale? And then we give you if you just do X, Y, Z, then boom, that's the magic ticket. No, it's a million little decisions that you're going to have to make and little things that you have to do. We can kind of guide you along this. But this whole hero thing is real. Like, you're the hero. You're the one, in this case, that's going to have to actually put on the cape and go out there and start kicking ass and taking names. Like, that's what's going to happen. We can guide you along that journey. That's the rest is on you. Like, you got to put the time. Like, this book, I've read so many books. I didn't have to read this book. I already listened to 1.0. I could have been like, nah, I'm good. Got enough information. For $25, and I think I spent $9 on the audiobook. Yeah. I was able to,
Like I said, I'm not doing marketing anymore, but everybody else should.
Everybody else
They
should.
should. But I'm not listening to the book, right? I'm in other books.
Yeah, fair enough. And that's where, but you know what? Those other books, because anything you consume is going to impact you one way or the other.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's why I'm doing it. I have a purpose of why I'm listening to them. But if you don't read like me, listen to audiobooks. But the reason why we keep saying books is they always say, they is everybody.
Yeah.
Just look around. Everybody that's successful, CEOs or whatever, right? Like, it's just they always talk about CEOs and talk about the amount of books that they like. There's something about that. Okay, so do it. Like,
so do
it. I mean, I gave illustration of how that 1.0 book changed the way we did stuff. Like, it's a great book.
How many years?
Go listen to it. Go read it. Whatever you need to do it.
Absolutely.
Just do it.
Ken, thank you for the recommendation. Like, I already went through 1.0 and I got stuff out of 2.0, and he told me, he's like, just finish this, change my business. That's literally what he said. All he had to say was that. And I was like, fuck, for $25, I'll take the chance that it might change my business as well, change my life. Like, Jesus Christ, even if things are going well, it's not the time to take the foot off the gas.
If you're a mobile detailer, you buy the book, you listen to it while you're driving, you listen to it after you talk to the customer while you're doing the car.
Yeah.
That's all I used to do when
Yeah, just put the
Just listen
earbuds
to
in.
like it's great.
Yeah,
It's a great
100%.
time. I know that
Yeah,
music is fun and it's very relaxing, and I enjoy that too. But you can take in information, put it in your ear, and while you go, well, I don't remember. It's okay. Just keep listening. Put it on again. Put it on again. You will
100%.
eventually change the way you think. You will change your mind. You will begin to, or they say absorb, or whatever that would like. You can begin to listen, and it will go into your psyche. Is I think one
Yep,
word some people use,
yep,
right? Like it is real. So
yeah,
keep listening to it over and over. Make a way for yourself.
yeah,
2026 is your chance.
100%.
Now,
100%.
don't have your customers bring their own whiskey.
Yeah,
Just
no,
don't do
yeah,
that. Okay.
don't do that.
If you want 2026 to be yours, don't make your customers bring their own whiskey. All right.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. That's a good case in point. Yeah, I'm not going if they make me bring my own whiskey. Are you crazy? Yeah, no. I really like your idea though with the getting YouTubers together in some capacity. And the reason I'm actually really excited about that, I think that a lot of people might miss the opportunity there in that influencers and the whole YouTube ecosystem, I think it's about to go through a change. I think that the days of the influencer, a lot of them are getting burnt out. A lot of it's the same old, same old. So people are tuning out. You have guys that have put out content for years that are kind of running dry. They're like, "Fuck, do I talk about this week? What do I talk about next week?" They're
Yeah. Don't
looking
bring
for
those guys.
something. Yeah, no, don't.
I was like, where are you going, Shawn? Like, what are you
No, hear
doing?
me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. I think there's a shift coming. I think people are going to start actually getting more. I think before we were trying to take offline and bring it online. I think what we're going to see more of happen is a fusion of the
Who
two.
can blend it in? Which is
And
I've been
people
talking about
bringing,
this for over the past year. Who
yes,
can do YouTube? Who can do online and do something local? Who can bring it
yes,
to a face to
exactly.
face? And then
That's
you make that.
yeah. That don't do those movements. Yeah.
We need to get out of here. All right, guys. We'll see y'all.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. So, but yeah, I think if there's a shift going on and people are going to bring it back to offline in a way, but still with the online presence. And I think that that's going to be a very big thing. And they're realizing the impact they can have by cutting through the noise and going into the community again, but merging the online side.
Successful. Let's be very
Yeah,
clear though. Like this is the next wave. So
yeah,
you got to be the successful people. We're seeing it.
yeah.
So like it's
So you can
you
go that route, or as we keep saying, you can follow the herd and
have people bring whiskey. All
yeah,
you're good.
and they get picked apart by the crocodiles. It's those are your options.
Try
But
some things or have people bring whiskey. Your call.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Great episode.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate your time as always, guys. Check out if you haven't seen it already. That new you've probably got the email already, but check out the new
Yeah,
product release.
AWX.
Yeah, 100%. That's a big one. And please check out the videos as well because they do have content around it.
Yeah, well, Nick goes over it, right? Because there's a lot of questions around acids, so Nick goes over it all.
Absolutely.
It's a great discussion. Yeah.
It's all there, absolutely. And check out the Pints Policy podcast where they dive into that and more. And check out some books.
It's
Go
a great.
read, go listen. Do what you got to do, but get it done. 2026, let's go. Appreciate you as always, man. I'll see you next week. All right, cheers.